If you're a small business owner, is your website communicating what you think it's communicating to your visitors? Are they able to search and find what they're looking for on your website with the content that you have there? Today, we're going to do a demo on how you can use AI to find out. Hi, I'm Appy from iCode Happy. I design, build, and troubleshoot websites, and I help small business owners get a website that works for them and for their business. We have tools now that can help us in ways that we haven't had access to before. Today, we're going to do a demo and we're going to ask AI questions about our website content and see what the AI interprets from our content to see if it matches what a visitor might be looking for on our site. If there's a gap or a mismatch, it's so easy to feel like we've failed when really that's an opportunity to communicate better and to better serve the people who are coming to our site and who are looking for things that fit what they need from us. If you're writing your own website, it's so easy to be too close. And I experience that too. I can tell a client that this is something that they should say on their website, but when it's me, when it's my business, my offer, my purpose, it's so hard to communicate that. So I can ask it questions about how I'm communicating and what I'm communicating, and then see if that matches up with what my customer needs or to address any questions or concerns that they have. Maybe I just overlooked some things. We're going to use one of my offers as a test, and we're going to compare a couple of different tools, and we're going to see what we can find out. Let's dive in. So let's take a look at my screen for this demo. This is the landing page that I'm going to analyze today. I want to see what the keywords are, what the topics are, if it is being effective at its job, which is to help people know if your Website Buddy is for them. Your Website Buddy is a full year subscription where you go all the way through your website over the course of a year, but you do it in small bite-sized steps every month. I want to take a look and see how well this page is communicating to the people who might find it useful. We're going to compare Claude and ChatGPT, and then we're going to compare that to what if you put information in about your business and then analyze the page using the same prompt. This is a quick little prompt. Analyze my landing page. Here's the link. What are the main keywords and topics this page communicates? And let's just see what it says. Primary keywords and phrases, your Website Buddy, website maintenance, website management, monthly website tasks, website updates, business website optimization. The page addresses website neglect and positions your Website Buddy as the solution for overwhelmed business owners struggling with ongoing website maintenance. Here are the key points addressed, the service benefits that are highlighted, the target audience signals, small business owners, people who build their own websites, entrepreneurs feeling overwhelmed by technical maintenance, users of various platforms. That's pretty on target, actually. So the first thing I want to do is what happens if we take this same prompt and the same chat, and let's add something here. Here's a business summary. This comes from various documents that I had AI mush together for me: a business overview, core mission and philosophy, my values, unique value proposition, audience, offers, and it goes on. There's a lot of information in this document. What happens if we take the document and we run this prompt again? Now that the AI has both my landing page and my business summary, it can show me how well my landing page is aligning with my business and what I actually want to communicate. So it's telling me what I'm communicating successfully here. And then it's also showing the topics that I'm covering that are effective. And then it's giving me a list of things that I can improve, making sure that people know that this tool could help them with business growth, that your website is a marketing tool, and this can help you with that. So there's some things that I have that I'm strong on, and there's some gaps. And that's helpful to know because I can add some of these keywords and some of these ideas in and strengthen this page. It doesn't mean I take the keyword and I just poke it in. It does mean that I look at the keywords and I see how I can incorporate them so that I'm communicating better to humans as well as to search engines. Now I'm curious and I want to ask ChatGPT the same question. So key themes, website maintenance support, guidance and accountability, regular proactive check-ins and reminders, simplified decision making. So it's a little bit of a different slant, and it shows me primary keywords and supporting secondary keywords, what my calls to action are, what the tone is, what the audience and intent is, and the summary. So now it's asking me, do you want SEO keyword suggestions to reinforce visibility or to improve clarity or conversions or search ranking? Depending on what your goal is, you can change this up and ask it for specifics. I like using both Claude and ChatGPT and then mushing the results together and using a little bit of both. Let's do like we did before. Let's ask it the same question. And let's also add my business summary to add it to the conversation and see if it makes a difference. So again, alignment with business goals, the main keywords, primary keywords, website support, updates, all of these things, we can go and compare that to this list, which is pretty similar, but we can see if there are any differences that it starts talking about. Main topics and messaging themes, consistent guidance, monthly accountability, empowerment through tools designed for small business workflow, and then alignment with my strategy, meta title and description for SEO, consider adding these phrases, and then again asking me where to go next. From the first prompt, we didn't get a list of suggestions. It asked if we wanted suggestions, but by adding more information about my business, now it gives me a list of suggestions and then also more questions on where to go from here. Now that we have these suggestions, we can see if we want to incorporate them into the content of the page, and we can ask AI for help with that. We can say, how would you add these phrases into the content, rewrite the content and show me what that would look like. And of course that would be a draft and then you can edit based on that. It recommends this visual call to action. I have a bulleted list of what you get every month, but this bulleted list might be a little too long or a little too hard to scan. So that's something that I could think about. And I can even ask AI, okay, what would this look like? And then I could decide to add it to the page or edit in some way. Let's do 2 more questions. So the first one is, if somebody found this page through search, what do you think they're looking for? List 10 possible search terms that would lead to this page. And it's going to spit those out for me. So these are great. The question is, are people searching for these items? It can help you take these keywords and develop an SEO strategy, identify opportunities so that you can see if you can start getting found for some of these search queries. What if we do that over on Claude? Claude actually includes the search intent categories, so it tells you if people are using these search terms, if they're problem aware, if they're seeking a solution, or if they're just looking for information. And you can target your content that you create that relates to these keywords based on the search intent. You can ask the AI, recommend a content strategy based on the search intent of these queries. And what kinds of content should I be posting or creating on which platforms based on the search intent and where people are likely to be, so that you can find the people who are looking for what you're offering. So let's do one last question here. So we'll ask Claude first, and then we'll go back to ChatGPT. What questions might visitors have that this content doesn't answer? What concerns or objections aren't addressed? So let's see what it says. Claude created a pretty long list here of things that I could add to the content to help people understand more about the subscription and how it might help them and who it's for, who it's not for. These are some really great ideas. I've tried website help before and it didn't work. What if it doesn't help me? A year feels like a long commitment. These are valid concerns that people have, and these are things that I can address in my content, both on social platforms or other platforms, and also on the page. These are great ideas for content and for making sure that the people who find this page and who could use the support of your website buddy will feel more comfortable that it will help them. Let's go over to ChatGPT and ask the same question and see what kind of a response we get. So this list is a little bit smaller. It has maybe a little simpler questions and some ideas for suggestions for how to answer. So this is pretty helpful as well. I like asking both tools because they seem to give me a lot of options, and there's bits and pieces that I would use from each side. I hope that demo was helpful. I'm continuing to explore this topic of how AI can help us with our websites. Don't forget that AI is a tool and its output needs reviewed. Its facts need checked. It needs oversight to make sure that what it's giving you is useful. The question you might have now is, what do I fix first? And the answer to that is fix the biggest gap. If there's a wide gap between the keywords that you want to be found for and the keywords that AI listed as the main keywords on the page, if they're completely different, then that needs addressed. If there are any gaps or things that are wrong on the page, even errors that AI finds or that you find because of AI's analysis, fix those. If the gaps are smaller, if they're less critical to a decision, then maybe those don't need to be prioritized quite as quickly. You can do a little bit of triage and see, are these things that are critical that somebody would get completely the wrong idea, or they would be missing critical information in order to make a decision, versus things that maybe are a little bit less critical that you can take your time and change those things as you get a chance. Your website is having a conversation with your visitors. So keeping that perspective in mind as you are editing the things that are going to help you to make sure that that conversation is one that is the most useful and helpful for helping them decide whether what you are offering, what you bring to them, is what is for them. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again.